Michael Vaughan. I've got Glenn McGrath alongside me. Michael.
Yes.
249 more with 10 wickets left.
Yeah, Australia, I think, it's at the start of the chase, you would say that England are absolutely clear favourites, but now needing just 249, Australia are favourites going into the last day. England look like one or two of the bowlers are struggling. Mark Wood, why didn't he bowl in the morning? Why did it take so long to bowl him? Has he got a niggle?
Well, he didn't look fit.
Well, exactly. When he did bowl, he didn't have that oomph in that run that we'd seen at Headingley and Old Trafford. Clearly the spin's an issue. Moeen Ali tried to bowl, but he's just bowling with his shoulders because of that groin. Joe Root is a very good part-timer, but I think, are you going to expect Joe Root to bowl Australia out on the last day? I think Australia will be quite happy to face Joe Root. Will it reverse swing? I doubt it, because there's going to be a bit of moisture in the outfield. So, Australia, from being, I'd say, battered pretty much all week, are in a great position. It's very similar to Edgbaston.
Yes.
The Aussies have taken some blows. They've been on the ropes, and all of a sudden they've kind of sprung back up today. And that opening partnership was really good. That was great tempo. And they did change a little bit from the first innings when we criticised them rightly for being so negative and just playing one way. Where I saw today Khawaja come out of his crease a couple of times. David Warner used his feet just to try and nullify that good length that the likes of Broad and Anderson bowl. And David Warner had that. He had that kind of energy and that body language that we've seen so often in the past, and he's still there with Khawaja. So, just favourites, I would say, Australia.
I can see just a hint of a smile returning to Glenn McGrath at the corner of his mouth. So
I'm always happy. Always. I don't think the smile's come off my face since I've been here.
But once or twice. But that's a very fine day for Australia.
Oh, very good. It goes to show this pitch out here still not bad. It's not doing a great deal for the fast bowlers. There is turn, but the moisture, and we saw it at Manchester on day 4. They bowled 30 overs. They got 30 overs in, but there was just a little bit of light rain around. And as soon as the ball gets a little bit that moisture on, it stops doing anything.
Yeah.
There was no reverse swing. There's no normal swing. There wasn't much movement off the pitch. So all these things come into play. So, if there's a little bit of dampness around tomorrow, it's going to be hard to take 10 wickets.
Yeah.
It is. And if Australia bats, 98 overs tomorrow now? You reckon if Australia bat properly, similar to what they've done today, they can chase that down. So it's really, you start again. You're not chasing 384 anymore.
No.
You're chasing 249. So
it's almost as if you need a psychologist to go into the Australian dressing room and just say, you haven't got 130, you're just chasing 2. Because history tells you that it's still a huge chase. For Australia to chase it down, what's the highest fourth inning change for a victory? I think it's back in...
Well, this will be the 8th.
1902, isn't it? 260 odd.
Oh, here at the Oval.
Yeah, at the Oval. So it's remarkable that this ground that we always talk about being a fantastic bat with, the chase isn't at that little bit higher. And obviously so much to play for. For England, obviously they want to draw the Ashes. They don't want to be the first England team to have, not at least drawn an Ashes series since 2001. For Australia, they're 249 runs away from doing something very, very special.
Well, it would be. So it would be the 8th highest run chase ever, fourth innings. That's the context of it anywhere in the world.
Well, this is why you need your psychologist to go into the dressing room if you're Australian and say that you're not chasing that 380, you're chasing 249.
Yes.
You've got your 10 wickets, but we just know that one wicket or a mistake or a little bit of magic in the field and things. It won't be easy for Australia to get that 249 because there's so much at stake. I just worry about the England bowling attack. I just think it's starting to look that little bit jaded.
Yeah, definitely. And Wood was interesting, wasn't he? Because he seemed to start off his run more or less at full tilt, but then normally when he's bowling flat out, it's a real dash to the crease, isn't it? But you could see him actually holding himself back.
Yeah.
Those last 8-9 strides, it was deliberately just holding himself
short
back.
of a gallop.
What do you reckon it was? Pidge. It's hard to say because he was.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a leg injury because he was running to start with. But whether it's but he wasn't pressing his side, which fast bowlers tend to press that rib area. If you've got a niggle in there, you can't help but just press it. I didn't really see him pushing at anything, to be honest.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is. If it's the side, especially for someone like Mark Wood, you're just not bowling. You can't bowl 88 mile an hour with the side strain, you're gone. So I don't know if it was an injury as such or whether it was
just feeling poorly.
Just unwell.
It
makes me think that more so because though he was at the physio, came around and was chatting to him on the fence. It didn't have anything, had a couple of things of water. So
Yeah.
I would sort of
Little
angle more
bug or
towards
something.
that.
Which would mean
I don't
maybe
know.
he could be all right tomorrow, actually, although he went off the field. But Alistair Cook's here. We're just ruminating really about England's bowling attack, and Moeen struggling, Wood struggling. Maybe the Stokes is going to bowl a few overs because he bowled a few in the nets. But any thoughts on that?
Well, another one was Chris Woakes' pace was down.
Right.
You know, like he's come back. Since he's come back, he's been hitting 84, 85, 86 miles an hour. Actually, today he was at 80 and 81, and there's a big difference when Chris Woakes bowls like that extra 2 yards or a yard and a half of pace. So it was concerning, actually. I've been so surprised at that wicket, you know, how much it's changed from listening to you guys on days 1 and 2 about the nicks, and you know, Australia could have bowled England out for a lot cheaper catches, but every nick was behind square. Today, England, it was a subcontinental field. Men in front of the wicket all the time. James Anderson bowling around the wicket into footmarks, trying to get people caught at short extra cover with a scuffed drive. So I think England, as they will do under Ben Stokes, right, set on a tactic. This is how we're going to have to bowl to try and get. They weren't at their best today for whatever reason. Whether Stuart Broad and the emotion of what happened with him, maybe I don't know whether they took the eye off the ball. I don't know, but what they will know that the pure focus now is those 249 runs. They have a lot of different options they can do. The short ball, if Mark Wood's fit, is a really good tactic when you're trying to stop sides scoring, so they could go to the short ball theory for a lot longer. I wonder if Ben Stokes might say, I'm going to bowl now, and do the same. As Michael said, it's amazing what happens when you're chasing runs, because you suddenly put 2 wickets on that, and it's 230, and you only got 8 wickets. Then you suddenly get another bang bang very quickly, and you're 4 or 5 down. The whole thing changes.
Because defeat is looming potentially.
Yes, and it becomes different. And then they think, do we play for drive? So it's a play for a draw. So there is so much more cricket left in, and it just wouldn't be this Ashes series, would it? With one side just.
Oh, it's going to be a nipper.
So.
It'll be a nipper. You can guarantee that. You know, I think the problem that Ben will have is this kind of the bodies of the bowlers, because to try all your different tactics, you just need your bodies, you know, and all the seamers to be working. I've been really impressed. This Australian side, I mean, I think it's such a big day tomorrow. If you go back to Joe Root's interview this morning, he talks so positively, and rightfully so, saying, no, we've matched India last year, we've matched the number 1 team in the world in Australia. You know, it was almost talking if they'd won this game, and it's 2-2, and we're kind of celebrating what's been a fantastic series. If Australia win 3-1, 3-1 here in England.
Well, there's no argument then, is there? No.
Exactly, 3-1 would be
an
amazing achievement for this Australian group if they chase down 380 on the back of the first 3 days. Really, they've been on the ropes. Here they've been on the ropes. On the back of 3.5 days at Old Trafford, where they were out of the ropes at Old Trafford. It'll be a remarkable series win if Australia get over the line tomorrow.
Is it possible to chalk off the 135 they've got? I mean, mentally, if you're opening the batting tomorrow, resuming your innings, can you sort of put that 135 away so that actually it is a smaller target in your mind? Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
So you're not chasing 380, you're chasing 250.
No, it's still the same thing,
Well, yeah, but I wonder if it is mentally.
No, I know exactly what you're trying to say. This rain has just saved England, in my opinion. It really just. You know, they look ragged, they look tired, but they now know, don't they? Tomorrow, there's all these questions we've been continually asking about this Test series. We will only know at the end of the series. Well, the end of the series is now here, and I still, it affects Australia more than it affects England. If it becomes 2-2, I'm convinced of it. And Pat Cummins will have more questions about his captaincy if it's 2-2 than England will, because Ben Stokes is so clear on how he wants to play his cricket. That this is how we're playing, whether we win or lose, and I'm hanging my hat on it, and that's absolutely fine. Where Australia have changed so much their style of cricket, they will be sitting there going, if we get this 250, everything we've been talking about, all the positiveness about England, and yet we've come here with our tactics, we've changed and we've won, and they'll they'll always be unbearable to be around because of it. But if they don't. Everyone will say, why have Australia changed?
You wait, Cookie, for that Amazon documentary. If Australia,
Oh, yes.
Australia get 3-1, it'll be it'll be
The test, ready to go.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I still think it's mentally. And you ask a brilliant question, and I've opened the batting like cooking, but I still think you can't, even though you've got 135, it's still hard to think that you just need 240. Even though it's bizarre, it just plays with your mind. But I tell you what, if Australia have a session in the morning like they were having there, and that's why the rain came at the perfect time for England, because I reckon another hour of Warner and Khawaja there, that would have been another 60, 70, and we'd be coming back tomorrow with a chase of under 200. And the more we've said it, probably every single day of the Ashes series, the morning session will decide that.
Yes. I'm just watching Stuart Broad pictures of him there, and the guard of honour that Australia gave him this morning, and so on. A very emotional day for him, clearly, having made his announcement last night. Yeah, I've seen him bowl better opening spells than that. I just wonder if I know he's put a bit of pressure on himself, but as if there is actually a bit more pressure on him, and he was searching a bit for wickets there in that first spell.
And understandable as well.
Absolutely.
No matter
it's inevitable.
How many games you've played, what he's experienced over the last 24 hours, not even 24 hours then, from that moment he announced his retirement, his phone would have gone berserk.
Yes.
Absolute berserk. Every article would have been this most positive, pat on the back, well, Broady, this and this. And you just don't get that any other time in your career unless you get 400. Do you know what I mean? And just to say you've retired, it'd have been a very strange 24 hours. I think tomorrow he'll be better for getting through today, if that makes sense. I think, and there'll still be an incredible reaction when he comes out. I don't know how many tickets are sold.
It's virtually a full house, I think.
Well, it's going to be so loud again. They're going to need that support, and I think, as we know, there's going to be a twist. There has to be a twist in this series that something will happen.
Let's just hear from the assistant coach, Marcus Truscothick, with Eleanor Oldroyd.
Well, Marcus, the day started well, at least, didn't it? It was quite a moment seeing Stuart
brilliant, wasn't it? The crowd was amazing, I think, and the whole place was full up for obviously to see Stuart come out with Jimmy, his good mate, and just for that one more time, just to see him bat. And to hit his last ball for 6 is even better. We were thinking about declaring at one point there to say that'll do, but really emotional. It's been brilliant in the last sort of 24 hours really since Stuart told all the boys and things, and it's sad to see him go, but it comes to an end for everyone.
Not many batsmen get to end their career with a 6, do they?
No, not really. No, normally it's when your stumps are flattened on the ground or you've nicked one to slip or something. But kind of writes his own stories, and hopefully there's another story to write tomorrow, and he can come out and have a great day.
135 without loss at the close. I mean, that is an impressive total already that Australia have posted. Was the pitch particularly good for batting, do you think? Was it doing anything to help?
It didn't really do anything that we needed it to do. We needed it to swing, we needed it to seam with the new ball, but it didn't really help, really, and they played really well. Credit to them, putting on a big partnership like that to start the innings off. And it looked tough. I thought we were trying to work out ways of getting wickets, changing up what they were trying to do, different plans here and there, different bowlers. We wanted a bit more spin potentially than what there was, but so be it. We're in a different position now going into tomorrow. The ball's just been changed for a new one, and hopefully with a bit of rain around overnight, it might just give a bit of life to the pitch.
Any concerns about any fitness in the camp?
Pretty much everyone, really. Yeah, I would say. I think you're off the back of a 5-test series. Both teams would be having little niggles here and there. You can see that with all the bowlers. Everyone's fit to bowl at this stage, which is great when you're going into the last day of a series and you've got a full firing squad, but everyone's carrying little aches and pains and niggles going into probably what has been the last sort of 10 days of cricket. But you kind of have to manage that as professionals. That's kind of what they do, and they're pretty good at doing it and biting the bullet and cracking on.
Including Mark Wood, because there was quite a delay bringing him on.
Yeah, same sort of thing really. He's all fit to bowl. It's just a case tactically, they're trying, working out different solutions of when you're going to be the right time for him to come on and bowl, whether it was when the ball's going to reverse or, maybe from different ends. So just trying to get the timing right.
Tomorrow's another day, of course. The forecast is better than we've had today.
Yeah.
Still confident of taking those 10 wickets?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think we've seen over the course of this game that the wickets have fallen at different times. The new ball has definitely been the best time to bat. It's been most free-flowing and easiest to score. But, we've got to try and break that partnership and get on a bit of a roll. We've got, 250 runs in the bank still. There's still a long way to go. And it kind of puts the game in an interesting predicament, doesn't it, from Australia's point of view. Do they go for a victory and or just sort of sit out and see what happens? But most importantly, hopefully the rain stays away and we can get the cricket out there and we can get the result that everybody wants.
Of course, if they draw it, they still win the series. So
Yeah.
do you think they've got an incentive to chase?
Look, I don't know. I think you'd have to ask them that, what their sort of outlook on what there is trying to win the game. I'm sure if we're going to get a full day's play, they'll be looking to win. Of course they will be. If the rain interrupts it, then it might change. But luckily they're in that position where they can decide.
But still a bit of confidence that England can get that win and level the series.
Sure, yeah, we've had a good summer, and the team is in a good place. Very hopeful. We wouldn't have expected to, for them to be 130 for no wicket. So hopefully we're due a few quick ones in the morning.